Privacy is one of the biggest concerns for any tech admin, no matter what organization you work for. And increasingly, I'm asked basic questions about configuring the G Suite admin panel. So I've decided to start a series of G Suite admin micro posts to outline a single thing in every post, starting with one of the most basic and popular email security settings. Hi, my name's Allison Malika, and this is G Suite Admin 1 of 20. And today we're going to look at setting up a compliance footer with a confidentiality statement. You can find more about the work I do at AllisonMalika.com. If you're interested in certification training to become a Google certified educator, trainer, or administrator, or simply G Suite certified, please check out what we offer also at appsevents.com. You can DM me on Twitter at @amalika, and you can email me anytime. So let's get started. In your admin panel, you're going to want to add a confidentiality statement. If you're wondering what those are, they're basic notices that are intended to imply that the message is strictly prohibited from being shared if you're not the intended recipient. Basically, it shows due diligence and an effort to protect privacy. So you might see something like a confidentiality notice. You also might see something referring to the right to know law that says that email communications to and from school are subject to government records and availability to the public upon request. So go ahead and take a look at different compliance footers or confidentiality footers and decide how you want to author the one that's best suited for your organization or school district. I recommend working on it as a team and getting admin approval before following these steps to set up a footer for everyone's email. But this video is meant to be a simple how-to. So let's get started. Sign into your admin panel. So go to admin.google.com and go ahead and enter your password to get in. If you have two-step verification, pause this video and take the time to get logged in. Once you're logged in, click on Apps. You're going to select Gmail from the core services. If you are rather new to Google, you've got your core services here and additional services here. These are all covered, the core services, under your G Suite agreement. So that's really important for G Suite for education especially. So go ahead and select G Suite, your core services, and then we're working with Gmail, so select Gmail. You can set up compliance footers, different ones for different organizations, but in this video, we're just going to set this footer up for everyone who has an account in your organizations. So scroll down to Advanced Settings. And in Advanced Settings, we're going to be looking to append the footer. This is where I just want to mention that often you might be following directions for configuring things in your admin panel, and you can't find what you're looking for because there's so many ways you can customize G Suite. Sometimes I need to follow the technique of searching using Control F. In this case, we're going to use append footer. So I search for the word append and boom, there it is right there on the screen. I also could have scrolled for it. Now I mentioned that we're going to configure this setting. So if you're new to the admin panel, let's say you were asked to only append the footer for students and you had an organizational unit, you can see I'm hovering over here on the left, for just students, you could do that. In this case, we're going to modify it for the whole organization. So we're going to go ahead and keep the top level selected. And then we're going to go ahead and append the footer. And to do this, we need to select Configure. Now, I mentioned you have the right to research, to author with a team, to get admin approval. But once you know exactly what you want, I'll use this confidentiality notice as an example. I'm ready to paste this in my append footer section. So it is required that you give it a brief name. So we'll call this confidentiality notice. And I'm going to paste this in. When I paste it in, it pastes it as it was formatted previously. So if you need to make custom formats to it, just select it, remove the formatting from how you pasted it in, and make it the size that you prefer, and perhaps the font style, etc. So I'm going to leave mine as this. You can spend as much time with it formatting it as you'd like. But once you've done that, you're ready to add the setting. So before we do that, scroll down and you'll see the option here to append the footer to messages being sent within your organization. Some organizations opt not to append the footer if you're emailing back and forth between each other. That's up to you. That's a discussion you might want to have when you're getting the actual context of the message or the footer approved, whether or not you want it to be on all messages or just outgoing messages. So select append footer, add the setting, boom, easy as that, done. Now you're ready to save it. But before we do, I just want to show you that if you return back here, you're going to go to Apps, G Suite, Settings for Gmail, Advanced Settings, and Advanced Settings. You can always edit. So let's say you start using it. Maybe you have a typo. Maybe you decided you're going to modify it. You can edit it at any time. You can also disable it at any time, delete it at any time. Let's say that you did decide to create this for teachers, but yet you want to add a different one for students. You can select Add Another. That would allow you to select an OU, such as students, and maybe put in a different compliance footer. And if you're only going to use them for a couple of organizations, you might have created it for teachers, and now you're going to create the same one for students, but you're going to leave the rest of the users out. So you have all those options here. Once you have your confidentiality notice set the way you want, don't forget to save it. I highly recommend at this point that you send a few messages with your pilot team and make sure that it's working the way that you want it to. Also, I highly recommend that you do this during a time where the emails are not being sent with high volume, so that you have time to check it out, to track it, to edit it, proof it, etc. Make sure it's working for you. So that's the G Suite Admin 1 of 20. Stay tuned next week or sooner. I'll pop up with G Suite Admin Micro Post number 2. I wish you all a happy new year and hope to see many of you soon.